Hello and welcome. Welcome to CPR's Clubhouse Live. My name is CPR Jose Ortiz, the Freestyle Countdown champion. And we're being joined tonight by a very special guest. Her name is Mena, and she joins us here on CPR's Clubhouse Live. Mena, thank you for joining us. How are you today?
Well, thank you so much for the invitation. I appreciate it. Super happy,
it's a situation where it's a great situation where I've been looking at the best artists of 2020, and I looked at the new category, and I already knew the answer to the question: who is the best new freestyle artist of 2020? And that would be you, Mena. So I put a small poll on my CPR's Clubhouse page to make sure that everyone was in agreement, and of course, they all agreed that you are the best new freestyle artist of 2020. So I wanted to have you on to talk to you a little bit.
Thank you.
I'm a big fan of people who earn it. I'm a big fan of people who are students of the game, that they like to learn, they like to put the miles in, just like an artist is supposed to. Not only do you promote yourself well on social media, but you also travel a lot to many different places, nationally, so people can get to know your brand. So again, welcome to CPR's Clubhouse Live, and it's an honor to have you here.
Thank you, Jose. I appreciate it. Super excited. Thank you so much for the countdown, for even considering me as a new freestyle artist. It's actually a dream, because I've been singing since I was 6. So I always wanted to do a freestyle song, and I never thought that it would lead to where I am right now. It's just
you've made a lot of fans. There's a lot of people that have looked at you and said, I'm latching on to her. I like her. I like her character. I like the way she sings. And so, I waited the entire year to see where you were going to invite you on. But you were introduced to me into the freestyle community by the Santana twins. The fact is that you're a well-rounded singer. You sing rock, you sing salsa, you do pop, you do all kinds of music. But you entered freestyle because it's something that you really wanted to do.
Yes.
So how did you connect with the Santana twins to put together a song that some people question, even myself, like, why would you tackle a remake like Judy Torres? But how did you get connected with the Santana twins?
Jose, besides that, she's like my queen, my diva, and I look up to her because she's an amazing mentor. I was brought up, I became friends with Jessie B. For some reason, we kind of like clinched on Facebook. We don't remember who requested who as friends. And then, I guess he was watching. So sorry.
It's okay. Just hold the mic with your hand if you need to.
Yeah, it's just coming out of my ear. Sorry.
Yeah, you sound a little crunchy, but we're gonna get through it together.
Okay, how is that now? Better?
It's good.
Okay, so Jessie B and we became friends. We don't remember who requested who, but we became friends.
I'm gonna go with Jessie B requested you. I'm just gonna go with that. It's just, you know what I mean? You scroll through social media and you're like, oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna friend her. I'm gonna go with my daddy-o Jessie B requesting you.
You're too funny. Yeah, we became friends, but it was very professional. And then something led to another. I guess he would be watching some of the live videos that I would post here in Miami in different places. As you guys know, I do private events, corporate events, restaurants. And I guess he was browsing through my page and he's like, wow, you have an amazing talent. And people need to hear you. You need to be, out there. Do you mind if I forward your information to some people that I know that might be able to help you reach to the other level? And I was like, oh my God, that's so kind of you. Thank you so much. And I guess he reached out to the Santanas and they called me quickly and we spoke. So it was great. It was great. So I thank Jessie B for that. Because if it weren't for him, I wouldn't be here talking to you guys right now.
That's a better view right now, but that's great that people can recognize talent and then attempt to bring them in. What I've seen though in 2020 is that people can't recognize talent for the most part. They're bringing a lot of people that shouldn't come in, but that's another subject. As far as the Santana twins, how did you connect with them to record with them? Because you traveled from Florida to New York to go into their studio.
Correct. Yes. Once was brought out to their attention through just CBB. One of them reached out to me and said, well, he gave me your information. I've been looking at your stuff, and you are basically the whole package, what we've been looking for. But I want to give you a song, and I want to see how you sound with freestyle, because I've seen everything, different, like pop, rock, Spanish, other stuff that I used to do before. And he sent me a song. I learned the song like in 2 days. And then he sent me a plane ticket. I ended up going to his studio, and he just loved it. And we just nailed it. We did the vocals for the song. So that's how it came about.
What was it about Judy Torres's No Reason to Cry that attracted you to doing that remake? Because, again, in freestyle, people are very peculiar in regards to putting together a remake. Not a lot of people can pull it off. There's a short list of people that can pull off a freestyle remake. Now, there's a difference, right? You can go and pick a song from another genre of music and come into freestyle and do that version in a freestyle version. But for you to do a freestyle remake of Judy Torres, that's a big thing to take on.
That's like a big risk.
Yeah. So like almost 20 years ago, there was a gentleman that did a remake of Judy Torres called "Come Into My Arms," and it wasn't good at all. And so now here we are all these years later, and you tackled it, and even Judy Torres congratulated you on your version. How did that feel, being able to do a remake justice?
It was kind of a surprise, because we were taking a bit long because of the quarantine and the whole COVID situation. We couldn't release or finish up Come My Way. So I kind of spoke to the Santanas and said, I need something to keep my fans happy. I don't want to have them wait. So, one of the Santanas was like, well, I have this track. It's been sitting there for a couple of years. You might want to listen to it. And you fit perfect for that track. And then when I hear the track, it's No Reason to Cry. And I looked up at Peter, and I'm like, are you kidding me? But like I said, Jose, I grew up with her music. I grew up with listening to Naisha, to all this, the legends, the veterans, all these classics. So I grew up with them, listening to their music since I was like 14. And I felt very comfortable redoing the remakes for No Reason to Cry. I try to make it a little bit of my modify it my way a little bit, so it wouldn't be so specifically the same.
Yes, very noticeable at the end. You added some of your flavor to it, which I appreciated. I appreciate when people don't just copy and paste. And you have the vocal ability to be able to pull that off. So kudos to you for that.
Thank you, Jose. Thank you so much. And the day that was released, it was late. It might have been 11 o'clock at night, and I had all this bunch of viewers, and I got emotional. The following day, Judy Torres reached out to me and said, I think I screenshotted and posted for everyone to see with her permission. She said, I have heard so many remake of my songs, but not like yours. You nailed it. I love it. She was she was amazed. She also told me that her husband kind of was the one that told her, you got to listen to this. Look at this. And then the following day, she reached out to me. So she even said, listen, if you need any advice for me to be your mentor, I'm here for you. So I humbly say, thank you, Judy. You're an amazing human being. Not a lot of artists do that. And she brought me into her wings. So I felt very blessed. Not only doing her classic, but even speaking to her. So
that's awesome.
It's a song that we will forever keep alive.
Now, Peter is your technical support, so we're going to need him in a moment.
Okay.
You sound a little crunchy, but big shout out go out to Peter, who's sitting to your right, doing all the technical support, all the technical things that big shout out going out to him. I'm going to have to hire him to do stuff for us. Peter, Mr. Technical Support. Now, speaking of the song that you brought up, "Come My Way," which is supposed to be your actual release of original material, and so one thing I say about me is I always say it's not a good idea to introduce somebody with a remake, right? You got to introduce them with original music first, and then you want to do the remake. But again, you pulled it off, and I have to give you
Thank you.
the just due on that. But what happened to Come My Way? What happened to the release of that song?
Well, Jose, I want to agree with you 100% on the, once you want to come out, you want to come out with your own music, not a remake. I completely agree 100%. But I was like, I need to keep my fans happy. I cannot leave they cannot wait. So we came up with that idea. It was a great idea. I'm very thankful that Santana's gave me the track as a gift. And like I said, a lot of people, there was a lot of positive comments and reactions. So to me, to my heart, that was like a blessing. And then Come My Way, the Santanas are still working on the song. Unfortunately, these guys work so hard, you guys. They're very busy guys. They don't only do the music, but they have, their regular jobs, which, they put in a lot of time in the job, and they barely have time for the music, which I wish they did, because they have such an amazing talent. They do such an amazing work. And but unfortunately, we're still waiting on that, on Come My Way. And we'll see. I don't have a specific date to tell you guys when it's going to be released. It's just being worked on. And it's basically, when they have the time and chance to get that done.
Now, while we're waiting for that, Dino Caporelli of 418 Freestyle took it upon himself to bring you on to 418 Freestyle directly. So usually there are sub labels, there are people that he distributes, but he wants to personally distribute you and distribute your next song, which is being produced by Jay Allums, and also George Anthony is in the mix of that as well. And the song is called Inside Out. And have you had the opportunity to record the vocals or listen to the music attached to that song?
I did listen to the track, to the demo. I loved it, and I was still working on everything else.
Yeah, COVID-19 has been a very difficult situation for everyone involved. I see that you're trying to put together live concerts and try to keep people engaged. And, you're always coming on from different exotic areas in Miami, like the steam room. And you have right now like a comfy sofa area. And how has it been earning one fan after the other? Has it been a good experience, you earning one person at a time?
Jose, I guess I got adapted. Like I said, it's a blessing. I've been singing since I was a little girl. First, I started singing with my sister. And then after that, my sister kind of she had her family, and she kind of gave up on a bit on the music. And then I started singing with my ex-husband. And then after my ex-husband, I went on my own. And then a little after that, I just reached out to Peter. And then Peter and I, we started making, magic out there. So I'm so used to gaining the fans since I was a little girl, I might not have a big fan base, but the ones that I do have are very faithful, and that makes me extremely happy.
Oh yes, I know. I had Tina Lee last week.
Yes.
We did the nominations for Best New Artist of 2020, and she was just in my inbox. So how do I vote? How does it work? And I had to give her the whole spiel. I'm like, it's 6:30 in the morning, right? But,
oh my God, she's in California, so it's like a 3-hour difference.
Well, it must have been like 3 in the morning to her, so she must have been coming out of a club or something. But a big shout out going to Tina, who connected us to get this interview going.
I love you, Tina.
But again, they go really hard for you. You have people that are in your corner, and what they don't understand is because you are earning your audience one by one, they don't have to do anything. They don't have to make the effort to convince people to support you. They already are. So when I put the poll, who's the best new freestyle artist of 2020, it was very easy for people to choose who they thought was the best new artist.
Oh, thank you so much.
So not a lot of work has to be done. And it's important for the community to be patient, because you don't want to bring somebody to the forefront quickly and have them die out. You want them to earn one by one. And so again, it is a process. So I've seen you travel to different places, you went to New York, you were all around Florida,
Detroit.
You went to Detroit for the benefit concert. Now, so has the experience for you 2020 been a positive one, even though we have the COVID-19 situation?
Jose, I'm gonna be honest. From the moment I was called from the Santanas, I've been blessed. 2020 has been a lot. How do I explain this? It's been extremely hard for me, but at the same time, a blessing. 2020, I struggled with my dad with Alzheimer's. So it was extremely hard for me to travel, for me to concentrate, for me to work, for me to do pretty much anything. Unfortunately, my dad passed away a couple of months ago. And but something that he always wanted me to do was concentrate and do my thing, my singing. So I just been blessed. I've been working with Santanas. Things I haven't been, clear yet with the song, but I was blessed. I was reached out by Gino from 418. He reached out to me, and that was, to me, was like, oh wow. So they know each other, so we kind of like make sure that everything was like, an agreement. I did, out of courtesy, gave a call to the Santanas and said, well, the song is not ready yet. I really can't wait that much, that long, because I need material, obviously, to do shows, right, and fans. And then Gino had reached out, so I took the opportunity, and he's been a blessing. I'm extremely happy to work with Gino.
Yeah, it's been a blessing for Gino Caporale to take interest in a genre that not only did he support to build, but now is really at the forefront, trying to distribute different sub-labels and also trying to bring forth quality freestyle music. It's difficult to find good, talented artists, so I'm sure that it was easy for him to be like, I have to contact her, I have to get her in to see what we can do. And I want the freestyle community to be aware that just because a person is taking advantage of an opportunity doesn't mean that she doesn't appreciate all the people that have brought her to the dance. And I appreciate the fact that you have been step by step giving the credit to the people who have brought you here. You went from Jesse B to the Santana twins that we're talking about, Gino, and so it's a situation where now on social media you got to be very careful and very you got to jot everything down to make sure you got to give credit to Peter, the mailman,
Pita.
The Uber driver, the guy, but it's because with social media, people really get like a little bit sensitive, or they feel like they own you somehow, or that's my artist type of situation. So I'm glad that you are giving people their just due, and you're doing it step by step, which is the whole point of having you here.
It's let me tell you something. The Santana twins are amazing guys. I love them to death. It's just that they don't have the time for the music, which I wish. I really wish they had the time. But they're amazing guys. I love them. But the fact that everybody gets along and everything is out on the clear. I like to work professionally. If I'm gonna make a decision, I am gonna let you know, whoever it is that I'm working with. Listen, I have somebody came and approached me. I kind of want to do this, and everything out of the clear. That's just me.
Good.
Without stepping on anyone's toes or creating any type of drama or anything like that.
Well, that's going to be too hard because, everything is drama now. Everybody's ultra sensitive, I got to be doing nights with everybody because, no bendito, night. So, let's talk about you're doing a duet. For some reason, when you went to the show in Detroit, you connected with the Nelson de Rego, and I always say it that way. Nelson Rego, and for some reason now there's going to be a Spanglish Portuguese version of the song and I'm hoping that the production is updated. I'm hoping that it's that if Jay Adams produced it, that
he is working on it. Jay Adams has his hands all over it, so it's a blessing. I've been watching Nelson for a while. He's an entertainer. He entertains. He has a good voice. More than anything, I thought the song was really hot. So I always go through, if it's good for Mia and the song is hot and the fans are gonna love it, I'm gonna go for it.
Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Jose. No, to be honest, I don't really care if the guy has 20 kids, if he has drama, if he has skeleton inside his closet. That to me, I go straight to the business. The song was hot. The song is hot. We are gonna do it in the Portuguese and a part in Spanish, which I will be doing. And I said yes because I was really kind of excited. I kind of liked the song.
Well, he's another person that I nominated for Best New Artist of 2020 because, you know, he came out of nowhere. He came out of obscurity. Shy presented him to the community. I know him because I'm from the New England area. We have Portuguese programming at my radio station, and the Portuguese director of music contacted me. He goes, "Hey, you have this Nelson Rego track," and I'm like, "I'm gonna pass." But with the magic touch of Jay Adams and you adding your voice to it and the production being made way better, I think that we could reintroduce the song back to 2021. We'll see what happens.
Yes, definitely. I mean, his music is a little different,
but
it's very danceable. It's different, and it's not really considered freestyle. It's something completely different, but it's something that you kind of feel it. It's kind of danceable, and that's why my interest was there all along because I kind of like the song in English, and now putting it in Portuguese and Spanish is even hotter.
No, so I was like, listen, I didn't play the song at all in this entire year. It's going to be new to my audience. And the fact that you're on it in Spanish and he's on it in Portuguese, and if it's good, I'm going to play it. We're going to find out if it is good. Find out in 2021. You know, if not, I'll just cut all his parts out and just leave yours in. I've done it before.
Primo.
Listen, I'm putting you on the spot. I'm not doing it on purpose. I'm joking. Jay Adams is with Nelson right now in New England.
Yes.
And, Jay Adams is a product of CPR's Clubhouse, so it's all interconnected somehow.
Yes, I know.
And the fact that you know, the fact that we all know each other or come from different areas, but we all connect somehow. Like Jay Adams is from Connecticut. Nelson Regos is from Massachusetts. You're from Florida, and we know each other, right? But then you connect with these people that you don't know, and now everybody knows each other. And so it's a great connection for the most part. The only thing that bothers me is that some connections only last 3 months or less, but hopefully this will be a long-lasting relationship.
I hope so too. Like I said, I'm really interested in the business part of what we're doing, you know, the song. And that's why I chose, you know, he came up to me and said, "Would you like to?" And I was like, yes, I kind of like the song. And the fact that Jay Adams is working on it, it's even better, you know, because I love Jay. And but you know, like I said, I'm willing to collaborate and do duets as long as the person has to have talent.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm very selective, you guys. I'm very loving. I am very positive. Like, you know, Jose, I'm very drama free.
Just remember the 2 rules, right? The person has to be able to sing and no Planet Rock beat. That's it. That's all you have to worry about.
I didn't say that. But that person has to have talent. Something. That person has to have something that the fans are going to love. You know, I'm being straightforward. I'm being professional. And I'm being very honest. I'm very selective myself. I select who I sing with. I have something coming up with George Anthony as well at the beginning of the year, which him and I have been planning forever and ever to do this. And we're finally going to get it done.
What is your connection to George Anthony?
This is a small world. So I used to work with George Anthony's wife's brother here in Miami. We used to do market investigating, and he was my partner. And he would always talk to me about this George Anthony guy, and for me, nothing to it, you know. And after me and Jesse and the Santanas became about, and George Anthony came up on the picture, I put 2 and 2 together. I was like, wait a minute, are you related to so and so? Yes, that's my wife's brother. I was like, oh my God, I used to work with him. So we go way back.
That's good. Way back. You see how it's a small world, you know, it's a great thing to be able to, you know, so it's a great thing. Look at George Anthony's making comments already about the duet.
I love him. I love GA. He's my brother.
So he goes, so I'm out of the question, ya empezó. You know. Ya empezó. But if
Is
it's
it coming? Is it coming in live with us? Is it coming in live with us?
If he wants to, he can. You know, it's always he's always welcome to come on live
with
us.
I want to see what he has to say. You should bring him up.
All right, you should have told me. Let me see if I can set up an invite so he can come in. G.A. George Anthony. Let me see here. We'll have George come in. Let me see if I can find him on my phone here. Under sexy. No, wait, not under sexy. Wait, hold on a second. That's somebody else. So you know, we're speaking live to Mia. She did a remake of No Reason to Cry at the beginning of the year. She just signed an opportunity to be part of 418 Freestyle directly through Gino Caporale. There's no sub label. It's you and Gino Caporale together. You know, a partnership to put out your next song, which is Inside Out, produced by Jay Adams. George Anthony, of course, has something to do with it. We'll try to get George in here in a few minutes. We're also going to have a discussion in a few minutes about countdown, since I am the countdown champion of the world. I'm only kidding. Actually, I'm not kidding. Countdown champion of the world.
The only one that matters.
That's right. The only one that matters. No, so we're gonna have an educational discussion about countdowns. I've seen so many atrocious videos in the last couple of days, either with Larry V and you know, the other guy, and I'm like, we're gonna talk about it. But Mia,
yes, my love.
So George Anthony and yourself are gonna do a duet, and I already see George Anthony already calling dibs, right? Is the song with Nelson Rego already completed, or is it something that still also has to be worked on?
It's completed.
Oh, okay. So see, you completed that one, but
that's, well, you know, it all depends on the producers, right? And the people that are working on the music. You know, right. Jay had a lot of time to do it, and he got it done.
I don't know if that's a positive. I don't know
here in my studio.
That's a positive thing, right? Jay has a lot of time to do it. Well, that's what he does by profession. So shout out going out to Jay Adams. I know that he's about an hour and a half from here, and I'm not picking you up. That's just wanted to let you know.
I love Jay. You know, when he says he's gonna get something done, he gets it done. We came here to the studio and well, he got it done, and he was very professional, and he had so much fun in the studio here because we had everything for him. Everything was here, so it was even better. You know,
I heard you had bunk beds, Nelson Rego on the top and Jay on the bottom, and then they had the SpongeBob pajamas and stuff like that.
I do have SpongeBob pajamas.
They had a little, you know what I mean?
No, unfortunately they stayed in a hotel. I had offered my home. I have plenty of room in my home, and but I guess they wanted the privacy, and I really respect that. So they ended up staying in a hotel. Hey,
so right now, we're being joined by D.A. George Anthony. So George,
I'm sure that everybody wanted to see me, especially the male guys that are on this chat right now. all of the guys, producers, artists, they all wanted to see my face. Hi, everyone.
It's because you're not on enough on social media to discuss certain things. You know, you're not on enough.
Yeah, exactly.
So
what's going on?
So do you have dibs on the Mia duet, or are we gonna allow Nelson Rego to get in first?
For the record, I've had dibs from the very beginning.
Good.
I just let her, you know, experience other things, but now she's with us.
Well, you should have told me or told her.
The thing is, I don't have to tell anything to anyone. No, but listen, you know, Mia, she's great friends with my brother-in-law, and he would always say, "Hey, there's this girl that sings and all that stuff," and I was just dying to meet her. But you know, she went and she worked with the Santana Twins. She did a song with them, and that was it. You know, she was working. So you know, now she's gonna be working with us, and we're excited.
I'm super excited too. You know how much I love you. I have my love for George.
My love for you too.
George is an amazing person besides being silly. George is very like, when it comes to work, he just focuses on that and gets things done. And that's what I want to see George. He gets things done. when you put your mind to it and you know that you have to get it done, you get it done, and you get it done quick.
No, absolutely. Listen, there's no time to waste. You know how I work. Some people work different speeds. Everybody has their own style. Us, we just like to ride on momentum. And right now we have this good momentum with Mia, and we're gonna ride on it.
So you're producing the track with Jay Adams. You're writing it. You're all getting together to do it, and it's going to be released on 418 Freestyle. So everybody already knows what the expectations are and what the collaborations are, and there shouldn't be any issues in the future. So everybody knows their role, and they're going to play it.
Yeah, listen. At the end of the day, this is Mia's project. She handled all the particulars and the permissions, if there was permission needed, to do this track, and that's all that matters. We do things respectfully. We're very direct. If we have any issues, we go directly. I don't do the social media thing. So it's a good thing that Mia handled that. And if anyone has any questions, they can call me directly.
I'm looking forward to quality freestyle in 2021. I'm looking for less bickering. I'm looking for less. I'm looking for less. It's been a long road the last couple of years with all the negativity. The videos that I've seen the last couple of days are atrocious. And again, I'm not gonna take your interview to talk about that. We're gonna talk about that next.
Yes, sir.
I got a panel coming in. We have Jenaro from Pain.
Nice.
We have Angel Mena. They were very vocal on social media. We also have a trusted person in the community, DJ Cliff Potts, coming on to talk about the real reason why we have countdowns. And it's not going to be anything that you've seen anywhere else. This is going to be actual factual information. So the community is educated. I run on educating the community and not trying to divide it or, go on the stuff that I've been seeing in the last couple of days. But getting back to Mia, why did you take to Mia, George Anthony? Why did you want her to, work with you or be part of a team to get her out there into the community? Because you've helped out a lot of people.
Yeah, no, I took Tamia over a year ago. I supported everything. She's always called me for advice. You know what I mean? And I said, hey, do what you got to do with them. See how that works. Because remember, she's new to this. She's not new to singing.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So she needed to try that with that other team. And I'm just calling teams just because that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's not teams like Division and the Yankees and the Mets and we're better. No, it's she was working with that team now. And then she was just working with them. So respectfully, I let her do her thing and she would always ask for advice. So I was very excited for her, actually, that she was doing what she was doing. And she made a little name for herself, as you can see. You know what I mean? So, but now, moving forward a year and change later, she asked me to do something, and more than happily, I wanted to work with her. But I believed in Mia since the first day I met her and spoke to her on the phone, and I started seeing her videos.
Well, for me, I waited. I wanted to see if she's going to be a long-lasting part of this music, because there's a lot of flash in the pans, right? They come in, they do a song, they put it out, they burn out, they leave. So, I waited till the end of the year. We've been promoting her music, her remake, since the beginning of the year, and since it was released for free, as a matter of fact, to the community, so they could introduce Mia, which is a great marketing tactic by the Santana Twins. So kudos to them. So we everybody's gotten used to the remake. We want to hear original music, and we want to hear original songs, because that's what makes an artist, not doing somebody else's. And that's a lot of people have said, I want to hear some of her stuff. I want to hear some original material. So Mia, how many songs do you have on tap when it comes to new freestyle music?
Right now, so far, and it has not come out yet. It's come my way, and the one that we're doing, which is called Inside Out.
So we got two ready to go. One is being worked on by the Santana Twins, and it'll be released in a date to be announced. One is already in the works with 418 Freestyle, and you also have the duet done with Nelson Rego.
Correct. Yes.
So
there's another duet that I have not mentioned. It's going to be released soon as well. I believe either this month or the beginning of January. It's with Charlie XO, and it's called Por Primera Vez.
So it's a Spanish track.
It's a Spanish reggaeton. It's really nice.
Okay, that's great. So that you're also expanding your Latin portfolio, your salsa portfolio, your rock portfolio.
I'm a Jenaro, Jose.
Yes,
you know
yes.
how it is. You gotta hustle. You gotta hustle, and whatever the fans want is what they get. If they want something in Spanish, then we'll go for the Spanish. If they want something in freestyle, then freestyle. If they want something combined rock, guitar, freestyle, we'll make it happen. It's a matter of doing it and putting your mind to it.
I want to hear a Spanish Mia song in freestyle by yourself. I don't want you to be with anyone else but you, and all in Spanish, because that's a Miami thing. In Miami, they used to have Janine. They had that song called White. Why? And she did it English and Spanish. There's a lot of Spanglish songs that come from Miami. Back in the day, they used to do Spanish versions, and there's a market for that. So I'm looking forward to listening to some Spanish only freestyle from you, Mia, and you can pull it off. You could take a Spanish song or ballad and make it into whatever, but original music is better.
Oh, of course, I agree, 100%.
And it will be guaranteed.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So I want to thank you both. For being part of CPR's Clubhouse Live. Mia, we're looking forward to what you have coming in 2021 with 418 Freestyle, and also the duet with Nelson Rego. We're going to take a listen to that, see what George Anthony is going to do with you in the future as well. See what Jay Adams has in store, as in production-wise, and if the bunk beds really worked out well for them when they went to visit you, if the inspiration was there, So I want to thank you guys for being here.
Thanks for having you guys. CPR. Thank you, Mia, so much for allowing me into your time. And like CPR mentioned, we're going to have a separate time talking about some other stuff. And Gino 418, you already know, and everyone who tuned in. I have the chat on live on my computer, so I just want to give some shout outs. That's okay.
Please
Mark
go ahead.
Milan, who's in the house, Omira, my love, Connecticut, Sal Medina, Pita, Tracy, and listen, everyone who's tuned in right now, listen, Mia's doing big things. She's a workaholic, and that's what we love. And everything that she's done from a year ago till now has been hot. And Mia, keep doing your thing. We love you.
Okay, my love. Thank you so much for your words. They mean a lot to me. Thank you so much.
You already know.
You've been a blessing. You've been a blessing to me.
And so have you.
Thank you. Thank you, my love.
So once again, I want to thank George Anthony for being part of the video and coming in and just saying hello to everyone and making sure that people know how things are going to be in the future. But Mia, best of luck to you. We look for you.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the invitation. It was great talking to you. I'm here, a phone call away, like they say. You could always call me for any information, any songs coming out.
Yeah, we have a collect call from CPR.
You still have that?
No, I don't know. We'll find out.
If it's 25 cents, I'll accept. If it's more than $1, no.
Collect calls.
Once again, big shout out to Peter, who made this happen as well. Yeah.
Peter, you want to wave? Come here. Peter is going to wave. Go ahead.
Peter, thank you so much for being Peter. Oh, Peter, thank you so much. So I want to thank Mia for being part of the show tonight.
Thank you, Mia.
I am the Freestyle Countdown champion, and Mia, we're going to say goodbye to you right now. Hopefully you'll stick around. Talk to you soon. And once again, my name is CPR Jose Ortiz. I'm kidding, of course. It's just it's a real title, but it's a collectible. So my name is CPR Jose Ortiz, and we're going to be discussing something that I've been wanting to discuss for a long time with you. I'm looking for my panel to show up. We have Jenaro from the group Pain, who made a video today. It was a very heartfelt video that he discussed when it comes to our music and countdowns. We also have Angel Mena, who was very vocal last weekend in regards to countdowns, and he's very familiar with what we do here. And also, a person that I consider an expert, his name is DJ Cliff Potts. He's going to be coming on as well. And we're going to be discussing countdowns and what the purpose of a countdown really is. It's not a popularity contest. It's not meant to have or create issues with people in the community. It's actually meant to promote an artist. And in turn, because you're promoting the artist, you also promote the person that's playing the music. Cliff Potts, how are you tonight? Cliff, you're live. Can you hear me? Go bye. You see how serious he gets when we get on these topics? Cliff Potts, you're on camera with us. Can you hear me? You are live, sir. I want my stickers too, by the way. Look, I got the 2 stickers in the back. He got the wind tunnel tester hairdo and everything. Hey. Oh, now he left me. Thanks a lot, pal. Thanks a lot. So we have something called CPR's Freestyle Countdown. CPR's Freestyle Countdown focuses on promoting good quality freestyle music. Right now, you'll see on the screen some of the songs that we promote on our show. Our current top 10 countdown, which includes TKA, Slipping Through My Hands, the #1 song in freestyle right now, Cynthia Figueroa, Now That You're Gone. You have G.A. George Anthony and Cynthia, You Should Have Told Me, the remix. Of course, Alyssa B., Joanna Hansen, the 2 songs from Rewind, Marilyn Torres, Lisette Melendez, and of course, Mark Milan. These are all quality freestyle songs that we're promoting right now on CPR's Freestyle Countdown. And again, we're going to be joined by our panel. We have Angel Mena, we have Jenaro from Pain, and of course, we have the vinyl assassin, Cliff Potts. Cliff, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I'm good now.
Perfect. Welcome back. Look, I can't believe you got dressed up for this occasion.
Yeah, I said, hey, look, I got to dress up, man. It's a CPR event.
Yeah, and then you got the partidura, you got the hair. I wish. Thank you for joining. You have been in this game for a long time, and I hate when people say that, right? I've been in the game for so many years, but you actually go back to a time where countdowns were decided by a record pool. People had to give written feedback on songs. What can you tell us about the traditional way of getting feedback for songs?
I mean, the traditional way was, right, to your point, record pool, Billboard reporter, you were given the record, you played it in the club, and usually you were playing in the club 3-4 days a week. So the feedback was based on audience interaction, dance floor interaction. Were you playing the song at peak time? Were you playing the song up until the peak hour? Was it late night, after hours? They always asked about production, vocals, quality, and the sound, because back then it was all on vinyl. So how is the sound pressed? Right. They wanted to know all that. Much different than it is today. Yeah,
today it seems like it's like a popularity contest, and nobody cares about something called rotation, the spins. I remember when I was being taught, and I was in the studio with the creator of Clubhouse Dance Music and the Clubhouse Dance Music Freestyle Countdown, Jesus the Juice Vasquez. He would talk about the clock. You start off with a hot song, and then you rotate all the songs that you have that are hot with a classic, with something that is on the outbound part of the playlist, but you still give it a spin. Right. And then you determine by the fan reaction, the ones that call in, the information that you would get from the record pools and DJs like yourself, and then you will come up with your top 10 countdown. And so when you give feedback, because I know that you're part of, or you have been part of countdowns where they ask for your feedback. I know you're one of my trusted people that I go to. What do you base your feedback on?
The first thing is crowd interaction, right? How is the crowd that I spin for, whether it's an event, a party, a nightclub, how are they feeling the song? The second part is really then production and vocals. How is the vocal quality? Is it clear? Or can they be understood? Then the production, because really the production makes the whole song, right? That's what gets the people moving. And then I also base it on where would it fall in line in my rotation? Is it something that I'm consistently playing? And is it consistently getting out there to the audience? Or is it something that, I'm going to play early in the night and you'll probably never hear that song for another week?
Yes.
So that's how I base, my songs on.
And so, I always go to you because you're impartial, and I always ask, hey, what do you think of this song? And how do you feel about this song? And I've gotten your feedback, and I trust your feedback. And there's only a certain few people that I like feedback from or that I trust. And of course, you're one of them. What is your opinion right now on the various countdowns that you hear and the information that they put out to the audience?
I think all the countdowns provide the artists one benefit, and it's promotion, right? If the crowd or the audience for that particular social media site doesn't know you and they have your name up there, you have your name exposed. To me, that's where it ends. There's really no other promotion for those sites, especially the ones where you have a countdown. And I could come in, and if you have 50 songs there, I can vote for all 50 songs.
Yes. And when we talk about you can vote for every song on the list, we've been talking about that for 5-6 years now. And that's the Larry V countdown, the authentic countdown. And so, I always tell him, what's so authentic about you voting for everyone? It's like everyone gets a gold medal. You know what I mean?
Right.
Everyone gets a participation certificate. And that's not how music is supposed to be. And that's not how countdowns are. And I'm not criticizing the way that he does things, but it has created an issue where now it's kind of seeping over to my countdown, and people are questioning me when I put polls up. For 8 years, I've had rules, and the rules are that the opinion of the fan earns you only 1 point. The opinion of the DJ earns you more than the fan, because I trust the DJ.
Right.
And if you're a producer, if you are part of a label or whatever the case would be, your vote counts also. So it's a point system. But I also look at the spins. I also look at what you're spinning, how what your feedback is. I also look at all the different shows. The greatest of all time, Tim Schomer is on. I'm going to see what he's spinning. I want to see what's on his rotation. I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to look at real fans. And when I mean real fans, I mean people that are not employed by an artist or part of a team. And that's where the countdowns get screwed up.
I was just going to say that, it's a great segue into the point of, there's a lot of teams out there, right? Team this, team that, and they're promoting the song of, the artist for this team.
Right.
And hey, you always want your true fans behind you. But from a countdown perspective, I'll just use, KL. He's not going to go out and tell his, 100,000 fans, hey, I'm on this countdown. Make sure you come vote for me.
So there's no way that he could ever be number one.
Exactly. Right. And we know that when you look at some of the countdowns with what is number one, it's not even in my top 10. Right. So if it's not in my top 10, how's it really number one? And it's your fan base, fake accounts, voting, fraudulent voting. And when I use that word, it's because some of the people who are running the countdown, they got this vote, just put them in the top.
Exactly. And what I also see in the difference is that I look at who is an actual listener of my show. I have a list. I keep tabs, and then you get these new people that come in, right? And that new person, you can see that they're trying to put in 27 to 100 people into the group that have never listened to my show. Those people are automatically disqualified because I don't want those people to vote. The whole point of you having a countdown is to get a barometer of what the audience that listens to you is popular to them or they like. And you want genuine feedback. So then you can take that feedback and bring it back to the label. You can take that feedback and you can honestly see who is actually making a difference. And so, the team mentality has to go away, the teams. If I see somebody saying that I'm the executive director of sweater shopping for, this artist, they don't count for me because their vote is already skewed. They already are not going to be. They're not going to be unbiased. They already have a biased vote already, and it's happened a lot. Now we have specific freestyle groups that have countdowns, right? And what they do is, right, they try to incite a back and forth with other people who have countdowns. Like they've tried that with me, blocked. You know what I mean? That's not going to happen because I am a traditionalist, just like you.
Right.
I live on tradition. And the tradition is I got to get feedback from the DJs. I got to get feedback from the real listeners and rotation. What's on heavy rotation? What's on medium rotation? What is going to get a spin here and there to see the reaction of the fans? and then we put that all together. If anybody wants to figure out who is the number one song so far for 2020, all you got to do is get a spreadsheet, right? Go back to the beginning of January 2020, and you write all the songs that were featured on the countdown. It's right there. And all you do is you award points. If they're number 10, you get 1 point. If they're number 1, you get 10 points. And that's what I'm doing right now.
Right.
I'm up to March, you know.
Right, that's the formula. I mean, you know,
yeah.
I think, you know, just reading some of the comments here, and I mean, Sal Medina makes a great point, right? It's geographic based too, right? Where you know where your group is and the people you're targeting. Chicago will be much different from New York, and New York will be much different from, you know, San Antonio, Texas.
That is true.
But what I think happens is when you start putting some of the songs in there that don't belong, some of the quality freestyle never gets the exposure it should. Which to me is a
that's one of the
thing
points
for freestyle.
Absolutely, and that's one of the points that today was made by Jenaro. He had a beautiful song called "Scars,"
right?
You know, it should have gotten a better rotation from the community. But what the community does is they have a short attention span as well, so they hold on to a song for a minimal amount of time, then they let it go, unless they're part of that team or they're part of that, you know, that team mentality.
Right.
I know for a fact that a countdown is skewed and not unbiased when you see artists that are not on my countdown on there and they make it to number 1. And you know, sometimes I called you out of frustration. I'm like, how the heck? You know what I mean?
And I tell you, and I go, Jose, he's not even on my top 10, so I don't know how he's
right.
on anybody else.
And you actually have taken it upon yourself to be part of a countdown where you give feedback to, but your feedback is not actually ever taken, for what I understand. I don't want to put words in your mouth. So
right, yeah, no,
explain.
I mean, I've voiced my opinion in some of the other, you know, places where I provide my, you know, top 7 tracks, top 10, and you know, hey, we think we need to change it because it's really not close to what I'm submitting. So am I really that far off, or you know, is everybody that far on?
Which is what I've been saying for 5-6 years now. It's like, are we that far apart? Like, if everyone is celebrating one song and you see the community really getting behind one song, but your countdown has somebody else that is lesser known and the song is not good at all, that kind of diminishes what people that are doing it the right way are doing. If you retweeting a song 3 times is going to make you number 1, then again, there's no way that a TKA, there's no way that you know, any established artist, Lisa Melendez, can never be number 1, because they're not gonna tell their audience, hey, come on, vote.
Right.
You know, subscribe to this person on Twitter, retweet my name 4 times. That does more for the iRadio station than the artist. So let me tell you how the formula works. And I know that you know this already, but the difference between my countdown and the other countdowns is that the other countdowns are done to benefit the group, the iRadio station, or the person putting it together. That's what it benefits. With me, it benefits the artist. And the way that it works is that if I play all the hot stuff, if I play all the hot material, people are going to make me popular because I'm playing good quality freestyle. And that's been the formula for me for 25 plus years. So if I play all the hot stuff, if I have the best rotation, if I have the best songs, and the only countdown that matters, the most respected, then what will happen is that people are going to be attracted to that. And that's how I earn my audience.
Right. And I've said this to you before, CPR. I said, you know, when people talk about their countdowns and they talk about the way they do it, the audience, everything that follows up is CPR's countdown.
Right.
And there should be, because there is a formula there that works. And, you know, somebody who plays the music, the closest countdown to mine is yours, you know, or even top 10, you know, for the week is yours.
And there's, you know, to me, you know, and here's another thing. It also goes to the artists themselves, right? Because there are artists out there right now that are big ingrates. And this is what I mean, right? So for many years, people were saying, you know, your countdown doesn't matter because of the fact that you are on a public radio station. I say, yo, but it's 4,000 watts. It means that if you travel 45 minutes any direction, you're going to listen to the station on FM radio. All that doesn't matter. You don't make a dent in this business. And I'm like, well, I beg to differ. And now I'm syndicated, so I'm in the West Coast, right? And now I'm on an actual commercial radio station, and my countdown is on there at 7 o'clock their time. And they still say, well, it doesn't matter because the wattage to the radio station. And I'm like, who is clamoring to play freestyle right now on FM radio? Who is doing that? There's only a handful of places that play freestyle on FM radio. I am lucky enough that I live in a place where freestyle has been played every week for 30 plus years without stop, even when the bad music was coming out.
Right. Well, let me ask you this, Jose, with
FM
radio, right? So you have a great track. Let's just say, let's use the one you executive produced, TKA.
All right, we'll go there.
Good song. It's on FM radio, right? How many spins does it get a year on your FM radio station?
Well, it's let's see. So it's 6 hours.
Right.
Cheryl Rodriguez is a 6 hour slot. So it's 4 hours on Fridays, 2 hours on Thursday. So Cheryl will play it once, and it'll be played. So it's 3 times a week.
Right.
It's going to be played on 90.7. One time on 105.9, the rhythm. So that's 4 spins. And if you multiply that times 52 weeks, you got your answer. I'm sorry, guys. If you can't do math right now, it's okay. We'll do the math for you, okay? So let's do the math. I'm bad at math. You know that, right? So it's 208 times that I played slipping through my hands.
Right. So 208 times. And where's that reported?
It's reported to BMI.
Right.
ASCAP is reported to I always forget the reporting system for commercial
the
radio.
BDS, is it? The BDS?
Yes, the BDS. Yeah. So and that's one of the things that Gino Caporale tapped into very early when we started our partnership, because what he did was he sends music out and he's asking for feedback. You cannot download the single without you giving feedback, picking the best mix and submitting it. You cannot download it, which is a great idea for everyone. And so he loves it because if I'm playing TKA 208 times, it's going to register 208 times, and that equals money.
Right. And that goes back to my point, which I was trying to get at, is when people say, FM radio, 3,000 watts, 4,000 watts, 45,000 watts, the reporting is there. If you're going to tell me, Joe Schmo's Freestyle Countdown on, Facebook Live is doing anything for the artist when it comes to money or real exposure and reporting is that, it's not.
I did also start a new rule in 2020, and that was if an artist tells me that they don't need me and they don't need my support and they don't need me to play their music, that I'm not going to play their music. And that has happened. And it's happened with more than one artist, and that has been their choice. So what I do is I take their 5 minutes and I give it to another person, another artist. Case in point, Ricardo Vasquez and Joseph Stubb, You'll Be Okay. I gave that an opportunity. I gave it a spin on both radio stations. It didn't last long, but you give opportunity. Same thing with Touch of Quality. The same thing with, artists that are coming up that social media says, oh, these people are hot. So we're gonna give them a spin. We're gonna try to push them, and then we'll see what happens. And so, we are the standard. We are the original, and we are the only one that matters. It's not a catchphrase; it's a fact. It's 25 years plus on FM radio. Jesus the Juice Vasquez did 90.7's Top 10 Countdown when I started in 1994. Even in 1992, when I was mimicking that radio show, I also had my countdown. Then we merged the countdowns. Then I inherited the countdown. And so every week there's a countdown. Every week there's some form of promoting good quality freestyle music. So it's a situation where we are providing a service at no cost to the artist. And if they appreciate it, they appreciate it. And if they don't, we move on to the next person. Right now, we also have from the group Pain and a guy who put out 2 great songs in 2020, Scars and Love Again. We have Jenaro. Jenaro, thank you for coming on to CPR's Clubhouse Live.
Thanks for having me. What's up, Cliff?
What's up, Jenaro? How are you, bro?
Hey, I'm glad that you got some good
today,
signal.
man? I got no issues.
Yeah, man, I'm so happy about that. Now, you said something.
I was saying that it was discriminating.
Yeah, so I'm going to go to you, Jenaro. You had a heartfelt discussion today in regards to what you see when it comes to countdowns and people's behaviors. So, would you care to elaborate on what you said today?
Yeah, I basically was saying that the countdowns and the drama that they're kind of going hand in hand. I don't think in my little video I posted, I don't think I really gave that connection too deep, but it's like it's not about these countdowns aren't a lot of them are not focused on what's good music or what song deserves to be on there. It's basically I said something in my video, the loudest person in the room doesn't always have the most to say. And
right.
We are, as a freestyle community, they're buying into the hype, and there's not always a good hype. They're just buying into the drama machine, and all of a sudden they're starting to confuse that with what's the good song or what's the hot song. And again, like I said in my video, I don't particularly, if someone likes my song less than someone else's, that's not my issue. But there's songs that are featured on some of these polls and countdowns that in reality they have no business being there because the song's not really on anyone's rotation, as you guys were discussing earlier, and it's not really even on anyone's playlist or
it's not
in general. And it's like these songs are getting, it's not quality, and it's not even some that are quality, they haven't even had a chance to really be exposed because they're just being played because someone said, hey, this is the great thing, and this is so-and-so, or they're on my team, this is who you should be playing. And it's not fair to a lot of up-and-coming artists who have good music, and it's not fair to some of the people like myself who've been in the game and you put out quality stuff, and it's not that it's not being respected, because it is, but it's still being overshadowed by the nonsense and these things that are just put out there to, perpetuate whatever the agenda is, because there's a bunch of agendas. There's not even one. So there's so many different agendas. And right. And the fans, and I want to use this term loosely because some people, they're fans, but they're not really fans anymore. They're playing a different role. They're almost becoming enforcers and
mob mentality.
Like they're spreading these things, and they're doing all these. And it's crazy. And there's like falsehoods being spread. There's delusions being spread. There's everything but the quality music. I said something to someone else pretty recently. I said, the sad part is someone can tell me verbatim what was said on one of Bernardo's lives, and they can't sing me a line from some of these songs that are supposed to be so hot.
Absolutely right.
Well, I think to follow that up, man, Jenaro hit it perfectly head. It's, the countdowns and the mob mentality. I'm not going to call out anybody's name, but I watched something and somebody was going off as an artist saying, how did these votes happen? Fake people voting in here. At the end of the day, as an artist, I don't want to worry about, where I am on, Joe's countdown and with the fake artist. I should be worrying about where's my song, getting spun by influential DJs, and am I on regular rotation? And, outside of this Facebook land, how is my song really doing? Because in Facebook, it's not telling you anything.
So yeah, it is about rotation. It doesn't matter if you're number 1, number 2, number 3. There are 10 songs. There are 10 slots. Those slots can belong to somebody else, but you happen to have that slot that week. I want to be, and this is a quote from Edie, who's watching us right now, Edie says, I don't care what number I am on the countdown as long as you play the song. So Edie could be on the countdown at number 10 for 10 weeks and she will love me because that's 10 plays.
Right.
Right. And I've been there. I mean, I think Scars got down to like number 3 or 2 on your countdown. And it like fluctuated, went here and there. But I never once said, oh, well, you know, let me get all my fake fans and whatever to try to stuff it or do this, that, and the third.
Right.
Again, I'm pleased that my song's being mentioned. And that's also the duality of these polls, legitimate or not. People are pissed off at what position they are on a poll. Your name is on there. And some of you don't even need, your name shouldn't even be on there in the first place. And you're upset that you're getting free press.
Right. And the fact that you're going on live social media and you're making a fool of yourself and you're saying some outlandish things to a female, even though that female is saying some outlandish things to you, artists need to behave like artists. And the fact that Jenaro is acting like an artist, but any of these newer guys are acting like thugs, that's the number one reason why I am not going to support those type of artists. Not to add that they can't sing, right? And they have no vocal ability or talent. It doesn't matter if you got the greatest freestyle producer of all time to do your song, right? It doesn't matter. You could have gone to Barrios, you could have gone to Alums, you could have gone to Valentine,
right?
You could have gone to whoever, Giuseppe D. But if you can't sing, it doesn't matter what the production sounds like. It doesn't matter how much money came out of your pocket for you to produce a song. You don't belong here, and that's what it is. We made right. the fans. We made them into staff, free staff, and we made the lower tier artists who never got spun in the 90s, in the 80s. We make them relevant now. Okay, we make them relevant now. I see them on countdowns, right. And I'm like, how are you going to have George Anthony, Diddle D, vocalist, right? How are you going to have TKA? How are you going to have Julio Mena, and then this scrub, one of the highest person voted on the countdown, and you're sitting there, and what am I doing this for?
Right. I think
you just ask yourself that.
I'm watching, some of the comments again, and we talked about this a couple weeks ago with Willie on the show, and Edie hit it on the head. Was she misses Eddie Rivera and RPBC, or at the time IDRC. Back then everybody asked for the feedback. How come my song's not getting played? Even at the 10:15 at night, how come my song's not getting played? Right? Artists today, as I go back to, they're not going to those DJs who have a venue, have an influence upon a bigger crowd, and say, how come you're not even playing my song? They want to worry about, how come I only got 30 votes on your countdown and I'm number 6 instead of number 1, and the song shouldn't even be in the top 10. Take your constructive criticism and make the song better.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have this conversation with that artist in the future. But last year my countdown suffered because it was they were trying to expose it as some type of sham or some type of conspiracy theory or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, no. And I'm going to save that argument. I'm going to save that for when I have the person here. But there were people complaining about their position on the year-end countdown, right? I have people that were number 40, 39. I believe Jesse B was number 40 last year, and he was thanking me. I have the person that was number 3 bashing me. And I'm like, man, I spent a whole year on the wrong artist. Right? Because I promoted the artist for a whole year. That's how they ended up so far on the countdown. And then they're upset because they landed on a certain position on the countdown. And I'm like, but out of the 150 songs that came out in 2019, you're number 3. That means something.
Right.
No,
I mean, I think this year, I was about to say, I think this year especially, if you fall in the top 15, whether you're 15 or 1, consider it a win, because this year has been an incredible year for freestyle music. A lot of great releases.
Phenomenal music has come out.
Yep.
Phenomenal
so
music.
if you're in there and you're complaining, shame on you, because being in that is the upper echelon.
And how many people?
And like you were saying earlier too.
We have a delay, Jenaro. I know that, so I'll let you talk. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, he said earlier about things also being regional. Some people are, from certain areas and things like that. And this is just, again, to defend your platform. If your station was airing in the Philadelphia area, I guarantee you I'd probably get a lot more votes or a lot more listeners, etc., because that's my home base. Right. I perform for these people. I do, etc., etc. But for people to say, oh, because, this and that, a lot of these people are from New England. A lot of them are. So it's like, to be upset because the show is broadcast in the area that they're from is another reason that it makes little to zero sense to me at all. Right, and just like we talked about before, there was a time when my team.
Oh, you froze.
Oh,
I know what's gonna happen.
Oh, then my team had like 4 songs on your countdown at the same time, and we weren't artistic, we weren't produced by Jay Allums, and things of that sort. And it's like I know you let the music speak for itself, and just because you're friends with people, or you have a relationship with people, yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I keep interrupting you, and I forget that there's a delay. But what the point that you were trying to make, that I want to make is that I am team good quality freestyle, and it's all about rotation. It's all about how many times you're spun. But I've done special edition countdowns on purpose so people understand that I'm a student of the game. I did a Tasmania countdown. I counted down the hottest songs on Tasmania. And though people from the area where Tasmania resides, right, didn't agree with my countdown fully, they appreciated the fact that I put it together. I studied on who needed to be on there. And I went back and forth with Eric Christian, of course. But it was something that I did as a student of the game. I feature people with talent. I know that Payne is, without a doubt, one of the greatest new school freestyle artists of all time. And that's the part that people don't care about anymore. And that is, they don't care about history. They don't care about facts. Now, a person who was on Tango Freestyle #4, on Hot Productions, number 11, that can't sing, now they could come on social media and say, I'm a legend. I'm a legend. A filler artist who was on the back of a real record, a real song, like Tara's Waiting for Your Love, right? They could come and say, oh, this is me on here. This is me on here. I'm great. No, the flip side is what people were playing. They weren't playing you. They were playing Tara's Waiting for Your Love. But now in 2020, they could come out of the woodwork and they could make pretend that in 1996 and in 1995, they were on top, and you see that all the time. And people believe them. You get 3 or 4 suckers to believe you, and it's a wrap.
Well, you know what? I'm not going to knock any artist in their hustle. Hey, we want you to put out the best because, from a DJ perspective, it gives me more to play. I saw a post, I don't know if it was today or late yesterday, that somebody said, from a team, hey, this artist has been busy. We have 5 tracks this year. And the 5 tracks were bad. So what really, in the New York area, and I always use this analogy, when freestyle started dying, I call it the Metropolitan wave, because Metropolitan just started putting out anything they could, and it killed freestyle. I don't want to go back into that. And when I saw the post, I said, oh man, come on. Here's 5 tracks that are bad. And we're promoting it like, man, this artist has been so great this year. Slow it down. Let's get quality over quantity.
And that's why my rotation is the way that it is. I want to put on rotation the best quality freestyle songs. And if I only get feedback from 5 actual fans, then that's the feedback that I'm going to take. If I get feedback from 10 DJs who are professional and know what quality freestyle music is, then that's who I'm going to speak to. If I have the confidence of the artist, if I have the confidence of the radio stations, two of them, and if my platform and the way that I've done things in the last 25 years, because I was taught by the best, is still working, why would you go on the contrary? And again, I do it for the artist, and in turn, the artist makes my show a hot show because I'm playing the hot music. These iRadio stations, these freestyle groups, these people that are putting these countdowns together, they do it for themselves. It's not for the artist. They love when the artists are fighting. They love when people are bickering because they created that, and it goes with the group that has a countdown versus the iRadio station that got paid off by an artist. You know what I mean? It's just, and that's another thing, that we can get into. We just have to be careful not to sell ourselves out, because then they're going to dog walk you on Facebook Live, and you're going to have to take it because they cut you a check.
Right. And I got a lot of I got a few messages today in regards to my post. They wouldn't say things publicly, but a lot of people thanked me, and they gave me their input and their feedback. And one thing that I've been telling a lot of people is I have a lot of disappointment, and it's not just with us as artists, but it's also, again, to some of the fans that are feeding into and who are embracing this nonsense. It's like they have to want better. And I understand with COVID and everything, maybe it's entertaining, but it's really detrimental to this genre that people profess to love. It's not a good thing, regardless if you say we're everywhere. But this is the reason why I said 15 years ago that we weren't taken serious. That's why most of the legends didn't want anything to do with us, even the ones that they had respect for, such as like my group had a lot of praise from the legends, but a lot of the legends didn't want to be associated with the new school because of this type of fiasco. And here we are, like I said, 15 years later, and it's still going on with guys who are, like I said, almost 50 years old or better.
And the bad part about it is this, right? For a long time, and I will repeat this, and I know people are probably tired of hearing it. Freestyle is like professional wrestling, right? The new professional wrestler is always talking about the old school professional wrestler and how the old school professional wrestler does not want to pass the torch, right? And they have to take it. But there are artists right now that have embraced new freestyle artists or newer freestyle artists. And immediately after that embrace, the artist that they embraced and they fought for betrays them like a bad pro wrestling angle. They turn around, they hit him with a chair, and now those people are deemed the bad guy, and the person that had no name, had no anything, is now the person that's a victim, and now they are the ones that can go on Tim Spinning Shomer show, or they can go on the iRadio stations, they can go on the groups, and they could claim that they are someone because they got betrayed by the legend. And it's the fact that they don't listen because they know everything already, and it's all an elongated plan to get themselves popular enough that they can break away from that artist that helped them, so they can make a name for themselves on that person's back.
Yeah, and I think what I saw over the course of 2020 was you'd have an artist who would bring somebody in, and because of the relationship, fans liked him, whether his music was good or not. Just because of the company he carried, fans liked him. Something happened, and all of a sudden his songs are bad, don't like him, he's horrible, this and that, and then you jump to somebody else,
right?
And that's where I'm gonna try to get to the point with the countdowns. Is a good song is a good song, whether you like the guy or not, or he does this. If the song is hot, the song is hot. So when fans go from, oh, this song is great, to the relationship broken, oh, the song sucks now, I could never value your opinion. because it's either good or bad.
Absolutely right.
It's not both all of a sudden.
Right. And
Right.
you know, the only thing that I can say is that we're gonna play good quality freestyle music. But if the artist is like, I don't need your help, that's the only way that you're gonna get your song removed from rotation.
Right. You know, and I think too, just based. Oh, go ahead.
How could anyone blame you for that?
Yeah.
How can anyone blame you for that? If I stood here and told you, CPR, it doesn't matter, you know, and then all of a sudden I'm going to be upset because you don't want to play my music. If I don't appreciate what you do for me as an artist and you do for the genre as a whole, why should you play me? Regardless of how good my song is.
And it's become much more difficult. You know, and it's not like I set out to, you know, not play people. It's just that there are more appreciative people. And it's what, to your point, Jenaro, today, maybe I should have focused a little more on scars, that I should have focused on the ingrate artists that didn't appreciate the fact that they were on rotation. And that's an example. You know, and you know for a fact that there were a lot of hot songs at the beginning of the year that people have already forgotten about. How could you forget about Pure Pleasure's Black and White? How can you forget, about Jenaro Scars? How can you, you know, Vicky Victoria, right? She did a 2020 version of
Sharon Massarin.
God only knows.
Sharon Massarin.
Adelise,
the way that you love me. Like, there's tons.
Blue Ivy. Okay, Blue Ivy.
Tons. And it's like those songs never came out. Blue Ivy.
Right. Yeah. Just those are perfect examples of songs that people have already forgotten about. I don't forget because I keep track of everything. And now when I put out the list in a couple of days on, you know, awarding bonus points to the songs that you feel are your top 3, people will still complain. And all you have to do is math. You know, all you have to do is math. I don't know who's going to be number 1 for 2020. I can't tell you because I got to do math. And so do you. If you want to find out, go right now to the CPR's Clubhouse podcast. The address is right there, and you can tally everything up. And again, if TKA's Slipping Through My Hands is still getting played today, 4 months after it was released, and is still getting streamed and is still popular, of course it's going to remain on the countdown. It's not because he's a personal friend of mine, because I say this a lot. I am harder on my friends than I am on people that, you know, I don't know. And so, you know, it's everyone comes back with the same argument. You are team artistic. That's their response for everything. But when I was playing them for a whole year or expanding their brand, I was the king. I was getting awards. I can show you the awards right now, right? I got like 4 or 5 awards down here that from people who have appreciated what I do until I stop, and then I'm team artistic.
But, you know, and I said this to you, Jose, the other day in a conversation, right? I'll put you on the spot. You have your top 10 right now.
Yes.
Right? Let's even go through that because I did, right? And there's a difference, right? Between 418, artistic, because some people will say 418, artistic, oh, they're all tied together. Distribution, everybody has it, right? Warner Electric Atlantic, they're all through We, it's all the same. But how many artistic right now are on your, you know, top 10?
I have a cheat sheet, so I have it here on the screen, as you can see. But currently, 418 Freestyle distributes a lot of different artists, right?
Right.
And a lot of different sub-labels. But right now, from artistic, we have TKA Slipping Through My Hands. We have Cynthia Figueroa's Now That You're Gone. And we also have Alyssa B's Memories of Love. The George Anthony song is Cutlass Music Group. Right. And Cutlass Music Group, you guys know for a fact that Cutlass and I, we don't mix. But that doesn't stop me from playing a hot song because it's a hot song. Mark Milan is Amazing Records. I'm Going Crazy. Amazing freestyle version. When the regular version came out, I was like, please let there be a remix. And D Mike, he stepped up. Renegade Music Group is Aki Star's label. Joanna Hansen, Love You Down. Commercially, that song is a success. It's being charted on, you know, Billboard, is being charted on all these different types of medium. Of course, it has to be on the countdown. because it's earned it. I mean, you got to see all the charts that Aki Star posts. You can actually go and look at these yourself to see if they're real or not. We got 2 songs, not one, but 2 songs from the group Rewind. And that's because those 2 songs are Miami-based, Stevie B-ish, updated versions of music, and they're great. We have Marilyn Torres, number 10, with her song, In Exchange for What? And the way that she got on there is because she earned her spot on there. I made a meme a couple of days ago with her song on there. That meme was sent to many different people. And there are people that listen to my show that listen to the song and they were like, yo, I really love that song. See, that's feedback, that I get from people that don't have an affiliation with anybody. Also, I have a YouTube channel, right? So if you go on the YouTube channel, you see what people are liking on the YouTube channel as well. So there's a lot of feedback. But, and I also have Lisette Melendez, the icon herself, with Stop in the Name of Love. So that's my top 10 currently right now. And it's played on 2 FM radio stations and on a podcast and on YouTube.
So I count in 4 bars, so my math is bad as well. So I think that was probably 7 labels that are on your top 10.
Yes.
7 different labels. So to me,
absolutely,
somebody says 418 artistic, it's out the window because it's not.
Well, it's their point. Yeah, it's a point of contention that they use when they want to manipulate me into doing what they want.
Right.
And it's just not one person. This happens a lot. And the only thing that it has affected is the fact that I don't want to give feedback. I don't want to give anyone feedback. Louis Marte today, if I may, he sent me a song to review. I don't want to listen to it because I don't want to tarnish the fact that we have fixed our relationship. Online we were bickering a lot for many years. I don't want to do that with Louis, so I'm kind of scared. I'm a little scared to get on with Louis Marte and give him feedback on his song. And that has happened recently with many people because of the fact that people are very sensitive, and not only are they sensitive, but they betray you immediately, like a pro wrestling angle. I get hit with chairs all the time, It's crazy. I'm just opening the door for somebody to say something.
Yeah. I mean, it goes back to what I said earlier, I think any artist really wants the truth on their song. They want to know, hey, is the production right? Is the vocals right? Am I missing something? And I still go back to, it's definitely different than back in the day because the budget's not there, right? The labels aren't there. Everybody's doing this out of pocket. So when they get to that production point and they've spent X amount of dollars, I don't want to go back and redo it. So just put it out as is, which is okay. But I guess, you need to align yourself with,
It depends on the artist though.
Right.
Because you have some artists who will sit there and they say, I know my song is good. I know I can sing. I know I'm this. I know I'm that. How do you critique that? How do you give them honest feedback? How do you say, oh, how? It's virtually impossible if someone has all the answers or they have all this and that. It's like I said in my video. I've been at this. I have no sense of entitlement. I have no sense of I'm beyond criticism. I have no sense of anything like that. If someone told me, hey, you can sing as good on that song as you do others, I'll take what they say. There might be a logical explanation behind it, but I don't get offended. I don't get anyway.
Well, it's crazy how you can accept feedback and these people can't. Like I can give feedback to TKA. My favorite story from speaking to K7 is that he called me in the middle of summer and he tells me, what do you think of this song? And I'm going, are you going for a Christmas vibe? Hello? Hung up, went and changed it. I get a person that's brand new, and I tell them, "Hey, this is what's wrong with your song," and they're like, "F you, you are nothing." They go and do it live, and they talk about me and how bad I am. And I'm like, man, like you have no idea of what I put into this music on a daily basis. And so, just to let people know, and not that you care, right? I don't take a dime from anyone because I'm not going to have somebody on my live yelling at my wife or my girlfriend or my significant other and then not get a receipt. So that's one thing. Number two, I pay for my server, and that is a server that is very expensive. I paid a couple $1,000 this past summer because I was writing the coattails of Rafael Reyes, and it was like, hey, he was like a father, a proud father. He's like, te tiene que mudar, you got to move, you got to do, and I am where I am, partly because of him, but I had to pay for that. I have to pay for me to be on platforms. So basically, I pay so people can poop on me for helping them.
I got to respond to George Anthony here. So, George, nothing. If I play your songs, then that means they're really good. So,
hey, Joe.
We have another person that was very vocal this week, Angel Mena, and I invited him. He knows the process. He knows the process of the countdown here on 90.7. He was number one for an entire year. And of course, he saw the backlash that I got when he was number one in 2011. But Angel, talk about your opinions on the countdowns and how you see it right now when it defers to mine. And by the way, his comment was for Facebook countdowns, not mine.
Well, first off, 9 years, bro. This has been 9 years since I've been number one. We got to do something about that. But anyway, no, but
wasn't that the buffalo chicken pizza?
Yeah, no, I guess I got to start paying people too, so I can get that. No, but seriously, it's just what caught my attention and why I put that post was I've seen several individuals acting like they're like it's a Grammys race winning these countdowns, and it's like, bro, like it's not that serious. There's no reason for people to be screaming at each other over a fucking Facebook countdown. That just should never happen.
Explicit.
That should never.
Everyone's fighting to be king of the shit pile.
Yeah, exactly. Like you don't see. I mean, I don't know. I never got it though. I never get. Me and Jose have had this conversation. I never. Even when my song's on the countdown, I don't ever go on here and be like, go vote for me. Go vote for me. I want to be number one on merit. I don't want to be number one because a bunch of my friends decided they want to vote. You know what I mean? Like that's just. I don't want to win a popularity contest. I want to actually. I want people to. It means more to me when I have people come up to me. I'm at a show and someone comes up to me and they say to me, your song, it spoke to me. Like, there were people that actually have used my songs as not anthems, but they've used them to get through certain situations. You know what I mean? And that means more to me than being number one on, being number one on the Bojangles top 20. You know what I mean? Like that just don't make no sense to me.
Well, I'm one of those people that benefited from one of Angel Mena's songs because I went through a breakup in 2011, and he wrote a song for my situation. That's why he's number one in 2011. That's what it was. He paid for it.
That's what it was. Okay. Oh my God.
But
don't mind the background. I was on the Xbox and
show off
because my computer. No, last night I was working on a song and my computer shut down on me. I haven't been able to power it up ever since. So I'm a little perturbed right now. You know what I mean? Luckily, everything I have is backed up, so it's just a matter of making some moves. But
Well, at CPR's Clubhouse Live, we are live with myself, Jose Ortiz, the host of the only countdown that matters.
Yeah, right. Hey, pulled out a belt.
And I am the countdown champion. No, but we're being joined by Jenaro, also the vinyl assassin Cliff Potts, and of course Angel Mena. And we were discussing how the countdowns are they're done for puffery. They're done for either the group, the iRadio station, or you retweet 4 times, you're the winner. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. They want to play everybody, you know what I mean? Because everybody deserves a chance. Everybody gets a participation medal. And so that's not how it works. As 2 artists, Angel and Jenaro, iron sharpens iron, right? That's what you want. You hear Genaro's Scars, and Angel Mena's like, yo, I got to write a melancholy song like that and put it out myself.
You're right. Iron sharpens iron. There for a long time. And I've had this conversation with Jenaro. When I was in Vocal Image, who was our standard bearer was Pain. You know that. Yes. So, we and there are groups, obviously. There are artists out there that I listen to, and I'm like, damn, that's a good song. I need to go and do something good. Like, literally, I can count on one hand the songs this year that have given me that sense of, damn, I need to get back out there. You know what I mean? Like, but unfortunately, some of these people hollering and hooting aren't the ones.
And we know that, and that's how they get their infamy, right? That's how they get famous, right? They go on social media, they rant and rave, they belittle the people that help them, they yell at people's wives, and they yell at their own wife. You know what I mean? It was bugged out, and then by the end of the video, they're apologizing and everything's back to normal, and you're like, what did I just watch? Like, what did I just watch? What just happened there? Are we talking about a countdown? Are we talking about people's lives? And that's another thing, the personal part of it. The personal part of it is the sucky part of it. The fact that that's why I can't even be friends with my significant other on social media. I gotta have her block me, and I gotta block her because once you start that war with my family, then this doesn't matter. This Facebook thing doesn't matter. This countdown thing doesn't matter. It's personal. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to have that happen. You can say whatever you want about me. I am the public figure, right? I am the person that's judging you, right? I'm the judge, jury, and executioner for some people, right? But the personal part, to watch someone like what happened with Larry V yesterday, I was taken aback. And there's no way that any radio station will look at that and say, oh, I got to play that artist. Never going to play that artist, no matter how good their songs are.
No.
Yeah, I mean, as a man, that shit was just inexcusable. That's all I got to say about it. It was just inexcusable.
I think, the days of having disagreements about a topic goes further than the topic, to your point. It becomes personal when somebody feels that they're not being heard or they can't influence you to their judge, So, and it's gonna hurt music at some point. I mean, we could see in some instances it has, but while I'm not an artist, as a DJ, Brenda's my number one. Anything I do, listen to this. You got to give me your feedback because I want everybody's feedback on it. Because if I don't have it, I'm basing it on my ears. And while I like to think they're good, there's always something somebody else hears that I don't. So if you're an artist and you can't take that criticism, you're probably in the wrong business.
Right. And who cares about who's stuffing a ballot or whatever? You got to put things in place to protect what you're doing. So, how many years have I said to Larry V that his countdown shouldn't have a button where you can vote for everyone? But we had a disagreement. We were no longer cordial with each other because of my opinion of his countdown. So you have to let it be because you're making more enemies then you're making friends, right? You give somebody feedback on a song, they get mad. So why am I creating these issues with people, or these points of contention, my favorite new phrase, for them to come back at me and do memes and go on the Bernardo show to talk negatively of me? They don't even know who I am, what I am about, because they never did anything to.
Right. These are people that have an entire opinion based on you, have never even spoken to you.
Right.
Yeah, they don't know my imprint in the community. They don't know what I've done for people personally, because a lot of artists like to complain on social media. A lot of artists like to say negative things, right? But they never tell you, hey, personally, this is what CPR did for me. Forget the music. I did this. He did this for me. He did this for me, especially the people from New England. They could never, you know what I mean? They could never. From bringing Angel Mena pizza because he's sick to, buying him a wife from Russia. It's that's how good of a friend I am.
When does she get here? I'm getting lonely. Okay?
Well, first of all, it's either the PlayStation or the wife. You gotta pick one.
I'll take the PlayStation.
Good choice, Angel.
No. Oh yeah.
I think this is the time where we get silly a little bit, because
but and no, but no, I'm gonna keep us a little bit on topic. Another thing, and this isn't as rampant as the drama and the nonsense with the polls, but I was talking a little bit earlier about this when I said I feel like we give a pass to people in freestyle. We let people come in this genre, say what they want, do what they want, and it's like it's all okay. Like literally, right now, there's someone who is a new second coming of freestyle who we go back a couple of years ago who trashed every one of us. Legends, new schoolers, we were all old, washed up. This genre is going nowhere. They're all losers, and here you are on the forefront doing it all again.
Yeah, and you could warn people, but
people forget, and it's like I don't forget.
Yeah, and you could warn people. I have, and it cost me. It cost me dearly. But again, they have to learn, at their own time, at their own accord. And I had a video which I did last week with Andre, where we talked about the topic at hand. And there was a reason why I deleted that video, because one, there was no conclusion to that. There was no end result to that was positive. And number two, I have to protect the people that were on that video, whether they think that I'm protecting them or not. You know what I mean? Whether it be the people that were spoken of or the person that was here, right? Because I'm not going to have people try to throw whatever we talked about as men in my face for the situation. Everyone that was mentioned in the video, I attempted to talk to. But you are completely correct. We give cuts to the front of the line to people that don't deserve it, that bite the hands that feed them. And then we go on social media, we become the pariahs, we become the victims. Then they get a free pass. They get to expand their brand.
Social media has completely fucked the game up. I'll be honest.
I'm just going to say that, Angel. Just going to say that.
Because, these artists that they go on these rants, but they have these people that just believe everything that they say and will go to war for them. You know what I mean? I don't want people to go
everything.
I don't want people to go to war for me. You know what I mean? All my friends, all of you, we've had disagreements. We don't all agree on everything, but that's why we're all friends. You know what I mean? And that's what I want. I want people, like you said, iron sharpens iron. I don't want people to be, oh my God, everything you do is amazing. You could never. No, dude. When that makes me very uncomfortable. When people talk to me like that, I get very uncomfortable with that, because I know there's a motive there. You know what I mean? And it's just like, nah, I can't rock with you no more.
Yeah, I had an artist that was in my inbox every day just talking about their past and making pretend that they were good. And I'm like, yo, I know who you are, what you are. I know your past. I'm CPR. I know a lot. It's like that meme that I put yesterday with Morgan Freeman, when you just sit there and you just listen to all their lies when you already know the facts of the matter. And look at what happened. Exactly what I knew was going to happen. It was a temporary friendship that they use to get to the next level, that where they think is the next level, so they can get attached to some people. And listen, that's New England Freestyle 101. You know, there was a person who did that better than anybody, and they took that on tour. You know what I mean?
They took it on tour.
They took that on tour. You know, they
taught a master class on it.
Yeah, absolutely. They connected with people, and then they burned that bridge, and then they went to the next person. But the bottom line is like they've run out of bridges. They can't burn anymore. You know, they have to now stay where they are and try to build with whoever accepts their crap, right? And that's why you have people that don't deserve to be in this music getting a pass, because those people also need income. They also need things, shelter. They need stuff. So they gotta use these lower tier, no talent having people to get to where they need to be. And so it's a social media has opened up so many people using people that is just ridiculous.
Yeah, I barely go on social media anymore. You know that. You know, I keep to myself. I've been working on my CD.
It's tough.
Yeah. It's crazy, you know. It is what it is, though, you know, until we can somehow get control back, because the inmates are running the asylum right now.
Absolutely.
Now, the benefits of social media, you are able to, reach out to a broader audience to, sell your product. But at the same point, some artists became too close. And, you'll see in lives, people are calling, oh, hey, call me after this live, call me. And you're like, what artist back in the day is going to call anybody,
For real.
There's absolutely no mystique.
I have K's number.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was always preaching about mystique.
I have KL's number. Ask KL how many times I've spoken to him on the phone.
Right.
That's just it just doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, the same thing here. You go Judy Torres. Now I got Mia's phone number. Now I got, you know what I mean? Everybody got everybody's phone number if you're on social media too, right? But I'm not gonna call these people for what?
Right. Unless it's business.
Right. If we're not doing business, there's no reason for me to be talking to you.
Right.
I mean, and I sound like a dick saying that, but
it's the truth.
Yeah.
I mean, the fans just want you to call so they could say, hey, what are you doing? How are you? And then they go run to tell hey, look who I talked to today on the phone. And then it becomes, this social media, frenzy of the inmates running the asylum.
It's crazy.
So let's rewind now and bring the point home. When it comes to countdowns, I'm going to go to each individual person. What do you think needs to happen for these countdowns to be corrected? Because, I'm a true believer of doing things the right way, so the people that are supposed to benefit. And yes, we shouldn't be so far apart. If TKA slipping through my hands is number one, and every DJ is playing it on Facebook Live, and then they're number one on my show, and then on your show, number one is Nelson Rego, there's an issue there. It's an issue. So what do you think, Cliff Potts, I'll start with you, has to happen?
I think it needs to, if you're going to do it on social media, you got to go to the, one vote. You get a vote, you better pick out who you like the best, and you live with that. You have to, but everybody's vote can't count equally, right? I'm not going to give, and I'm not saying this because you do it, but it's just a formula that works. Is if you're a DJ and I'm playing your song and it's in my top 10, that song is going to get more points than a fan voting for that song, because there's a difference between a fan voting for it and somebody in the industry who's actually playing that. Producers, I go back to, if you want to come in and vote, you can vote for anything but your song. Go vote for everybody else's. that's going to give you the closest you could probably get to on social media. I mean, you're going to have fake accounts, but once again, you don't know them. You get 1 point because, you know, I don't know your account, so you must be a fan. But I think to me, that's really the only way to do it, to get something that resembles normalcy.
And that's why I am the countdown champion. Okay. Angel Mena, what do you think?
Honestly, I think as the community and as a genre, we need to hit the reset button because shit is out of hand. Like, it's just crazy. We need to, and this will never happen, especially in the age of social media. I know this is just me being optimistic, but we just need to, you know, it's just too much. There are too many variables for anything to be like back in the days when the record pool days, when we first started, that system worked. You can't implement that now. You can't because there's always that one fucking duck who thinks that they're better than everybody else is gonna fucking do their own shit. There's always gonna be Leroy Jenkins. Always.
Leroy Jenkins. And I can agree with them because I attempted to create a freestyle record pool for digital media where I would distribute.
Yep.
It died a painful death. Jenaro, the floor is yours.
Well, I would say the only thing that can make it better is complete transparency, but people ain't gonna go for that. You know it, and I know it. And then back to what Angel said, if we wanted to do this the right way, information should be shared. The heads of these platforms should all once a month or whatever the case may be compare notes, have a meeting, tally things, do things the correct way so that we can maybe legitimize things. But again, there's too much ego involved. They can say they do this for the love of the music all they want. They do it to stroke their ego, to look at me, look at what I'm doing, and therein there lies the problem. Because it was really about the music and making this stuff better, then they wouldn't be adverse to doing these things, regardless of who you didn't like personally.
So I play people that I don't like all the time. Angel,
that is a motherfucking fact. Bro, there are people that have shitted on this man on a personal level, and he plays their fucking music. So for him and I have had discussions on that too. If it was up to me, they'd go fucking, they'd have to go jump in the river because I fuck them. But you know, hey.
So I do this because I need to have that impartial. I gotta play quality freestyle music, and so I give it an opportunity. Now, if that artist opens their mouth and says, "I don't need you to play my song," I thank them and I give that 5 minutes to somebody else, which has happened.
I've seen that.
Which has happened. So when people ask me, "Hey, what happened to the song?" Don't ask me, ask the artist. And again, we will be talking about that very soon here on CPR's Clubhouse Live, because I've seen the other lives. I've seen the other lives. I've seen a lot of the things that people say. The things about the countdowns and the things they say about freestyle, that doesn't bother me. It's the personal stuff. It's the personal stuff. The question was, is CPR a good person?
Right.
And they said no. And so that prompted me to pick up the phone. Because my character is being questioned. But again, that person will be here on this show and we'll talk about that here live. What I'm saying to you is that I'm a traditionalist, and this is something that I've been doing for 25 years. There's no other music that I've ever wanted to play other than freestyle. Ever since I was in high school, when I went to the newspaper office, where I created a radio station using old equipment, like the old 45 with the leather on the side, and one of them had the it's not even a real turntable. But on Fridays, I mimicked my favorite show, which is Clubhouse Dance Music, which was created by Jesus the Juice Vasquez with Louis Rodriguez, Sonny Marini, Alex Rivera. And and then the other people that proceeded after. But I'm a traditionalist. I started my own show. I earned my way into hosting Clubhouse dance music by creating CPR's Clubhouse at 103.5. I had my countdown there. Jesus the Juice had his countdown there. And yes, I gave a lot of opportunity to new freestyle artists. I'm the one that changed the game in the entire New England area when it came to pushing new quality freestyle, because in New England, all they wanted to play was old school. They never wanted to play new school. And in some places, quality freestyle music, like artistic, was banned. In they would play, Gina Lansky, I Will Carry On 40 times a week, right? So I'm the one that changed the game in New England. And don't even get me started.
Hey man, don't insult my old label mates.
The 90s was a trying time, bro.
Yes, but I just want to say I had a big crush on Gina Lansky. Anyways, so I'm a traditionalist, right? And I take what I do very seriously. I'm not for sale. I am not for sale. I have not taken a dime from anyone, because I am not going to have somebody dictate how I do my show. I was taught by the best, and I was taught about rotation. I was taught about polling. I was taught about, doing record pools, relying on fellow DJs that know what they're talking about. And that formula is what makes CPR's Freestyle Countdown. When you come to vote at CPR's Freestyle Countdown, you get 1 vote. If we have a fan, 1 point. If we have an artist, 2 points. If there's a producer that comes in, you get 3 points. But if that producer is voting for their own stuff, that is getting some points deducted, right? If you're a staff member from one of your teams and you bring 27 people in, you and the 27 people, your votes don't count, because I want factual, actual people that listen to my show or my podcast. That's what I want. I want actual information that I can use to further quality freestyle music. All right. And that's why my countdown is the most trusted. That's why my countdown is the only one that matters. And that's why I get people that call me, from the top dogs to the up and comers, that want me to push their music. Right. And that's why I respect each individual person and give them my time. Even when I'm working sometimes, or I'm on my break, people are contacting me about submitting music to my show. And I wouldn't be on 90.7 for the years that I've been there and now run the show Clubhouse Dance Music. I wouldn't be the training director and a person that trains people on how to be broadcasters. I wouldn't be on 105.9 FM every week if I didn't earn it and if people didn't trust what I bring to the table, right? So I am not a Facebook countdown. I'm not a Facebook countdown. I'm not an iRadio station. I have nothing to do with those people. We do things the right way here. I keep pointing out my title like I'm a champion. Let me just put this down. I'm cutting a promo here, brother. So I just want to make sure that you understand that part, that part that I take it very seriously, that when I sit down here and I take time for my family to get my show together, that I'm doing it for the betterment of our music, okay? Because I take a good 20 hours a week for the countdown. I take 2 hours a week to do this live because I want to educate people. There's a lot of puffery and a lot of bad information out there, and I want you to have the correct information. I want you to see the trusted people that are here that come on the show with a background, who actually have fans, who actually know how to spin, who actually know about record pools and music. That's who I want to talk to. Jenaro from the group Pain, Angel Mena from the group Vocal Image, NSR Music Group. These guys right here, these guys are what the best of the 90s has brought us, right? And these two gentlemen right here, they can go on social media and they can say whatever they want. They can bash people if they wanted to. They can put people in their place. They know a lot of information about the superstars of freestyle right now, where they can bury them right now, but they always take the high road. And that's because they are true artists. And that's why I respect them. And that's why they're on my platform. Cliff Potts, Cliff Potts, I don't tell Cliff Potts what to play on his mixes on my show.
Nope.
My last 10 minutes on my countdown every week belongs to that man. Why? Because he earned it. Not because I pay him, not because I put it out there for 6 years that I was looking for someone to do mixes. And he's the only one that stepped up to the plate and has given me a mix for almost 2 years every week. So I concede my last 10 minutes to him for as long as he will have it, because he is a person that has come and joined me as a friend, as a colleague, and we respect each other.
Yep.
Not only do we respect each other, but I don't tell him what to play. If he wants to put Shy on the mix, and by the way, Shy was on the mix. Shy, we play it. If he wanted to play, an up-and-coming artist that I don't necessarily like or I don't want to promote, we're going to leave him there, because that is what Cliff Potts wanted. So I am not an online radio station. I am not a Facebook group. I want to make that clear. Don't compare me to the rest. I am the original. They are derivatives of my show, right? The only show that comes close to what we do belongs to Rafael Reyes. He does a monthly countdown. It's called the Freestyle Countdown Showdown. The only other countdown you can trust is that one, because he knows what tradition brings to this music. He knows how to poll people. He knows how to get people together to get feedback and to put on a list of good quality freestyle music to put on a countdown. So there's only 2 countdowns that matter right now. The ones that are on FM radio, the ones that are featured. Those are the ones that you should be listening to. These lower tier, anybody can get on, you get a medal, you get a medal, you get a medal countdown. It's not going to work for our music. And that's why you're always going to be lower tier.